Okay. So let's try and beat him again. Yeah, thank you, Armorize, for the 5-month resub. Thank you so much. And also for all those bits that you gave once upon a time. I see that red star. I gotta make a, I gotta make, like, some neat, like, little cheer icons as well. We gotta have an art day soon. Where I just sit down and do, like, a whole bunch of art. Sooner than later might not be a bad idea, but I am lazy and sleepy, and my iPad is never charged. I will be honest, that's actually kind of the main reason why I've been kind of lazy about it. Is just like, yeah, it's not charged up. I'll get it next time, and then I just forget. It's also one of those where I'm desperately trying to finish some of these games so I don't have to worry about it before, like, more games keep showing up in my inbox, because they keep coming. Like, I have so many games. I think even starting next week, I've got Sniper Elite V2, the remaster, which I might just do as kind of like a little one-off, 3-off or something like that, because I played it a while back. It really depends on how much has changed since I played it a long time ago. Plague Tale, Innocence, and Rage 2. Not to mention whatever indie games show up in my library as well, because there's so many indie games that just come at me from every direction. Okay, 14 levels, so we're stuck here for a little while. And not much has changed with Sniper Elite. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Now, let's just do, Turbo Necromania. Only the fastest shall survive. Huh. Wait, that guy just went straight through me. Also, what's with my weird creepy cutscene? I got like a creepy cutscene red jumpsuit, but it never carries over. Let's just go for that. I'll take a bit of a nerf. Hello. Oh, that's better. We still haven't found any earrings, now that I'm thinking about it. Ooh. Yeah, I probably want the attack speed. We should probably get 1 or 2 skills that involve Might Chi, but I don't know. Oh, we actually did really well. I thought we got killed almost immediately, but I guess only a handful of ghosts even show up. Oh yeah, it really is just a bunch of boner men that are just racing, I guess. Oops. And not a single earring in sight. Weird. 1/4 HP, 1/2 defense, 1/4 attack with enough chi to run heal at 50% healing. Yeah, maybe. I feel like with the exponential... the exponentiality of the stats in this, it really might actually be better to just go all in on, like, 1. So you go for a little bit of attack speed over the regular attack? Yeah. Because the attack speed is actually really useful for me, but I only really can scale it with items. I can scale it with other things, but it's not as good. What does defense do? It's like 80 defense. Like, eventually it might be okay. I'm assuming most enemies are just gonna arms race past whatever defense value. Yeah, they're smacking me around. And still not an earring in sight. It's bizarre, honestly. Anything else? Yep, that's a direct upgrade. We sell it all. Skylar Bros. I like to call them my boner bros. Going fast. They're going real fast, by the way. Just do last battle a couple of times. These guys hit like trucks. Like, the problem I'm seeing here is just like, even like, no matter how many points I put into my defense, it feels like they're still hitting for just a lot. I guess I should probably work a little bit harder on diversifying my damage, though. Let's see. No, more blade attack isn't that helpful. Okay. This is better. Maybe. Some of the... Yeah, that's the one. I was like, some of these have useful stats in here. Oh, that was actually 160 defense that time. Okay, maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention. Let's level up again and see how it goes. If you hit a wall, enhancing is the way. Yeah, I'm just not sure if I've hit a wall yet. I mean, I'm sure I have. Let's be honest here. I did hit a wall. Not a big wall, though. So they hit like butts. I think I also need to just start putting a couple of points into meditation. If I level this up by a point... Yeah, that's 160, actually. $160 defense isn't terrible. Okay, well anyway, let's enhance some things. Probably my armor and that. Okay. That increases it by 12%. 11%. Yeah, because of the way the gems scale up here. Oh, it does... Is it Fibonacci scaling? It might... No, it's not Fibonacci scaling. It's just doubling every single time, give or take. I guess, yeah, we might as well turn max on. I was gonna say, like, let's not do that, because that's a gross waste of gems. But at the same time, if I'm going to time travel very shortly, why wait? Because, yeah, that more or less doubles the defense and attack bonuses. Yeah, so enhancing is entirely worth it. Let's go to the arena. I'm better than I ever have been, so we might as well. Actually, we're getting pretty close to... I'm going to say the end, but I realize that that's probably not the case. Oh, this is a completely different dude. Unfortunately, because of Chiron... Chiron? I think it was Chiron. It's actually really difficult to see what this guy even looks like. He's got, like, furry pants. Old man brawly dude. Fair enough. Oh, yeah, and that is actually worth a fair bit of gems, too. Cool. Okay, welcome to Ghost Town. I should be able to crush my way through this time around. Yeah, enhancement really is the wall buster. I was just like, I don't need to enhance. I'll be fine. Nope, zoom and enhance. Zoom. I should probably sit down and actually play some more incremental games. I know... Let's see, most of these... Yeah, still no necklace. Oh! We should go see if we can muck up, Overly Perfect Cell. Let's see, Grand Diptera. I don't think anything's going to be able to touch me here. Let's see. So actually, defense isn't terrible. You could almost... Nope, never mind. I died instantly. Shit. These are all worse than what I have. So, I guess we're just going to leave Overly Perfect Cell for a much later date. Question mark. Beware of skin faces. They will steal your soul. What? Let's see. Wow. I feel guilty for bringing it up, but thank you so much, Armorize, for the 10,000 bits. You have graduated from red to pink. I'm not actually sure why, what the scaling is for YouTube bit symbols, but damn. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will punch things in, well, not your honor today, but I don't know. Whatever. Thank you all the same. Damn, that is a lot of bits. Let's see, do I go defense? No, let's just go pure raw damage. Actually, is that worth it? Crit power might be worth it. I don't know. Yeah, red is 10k, pink is 25k. I think if you get up to like 100k, it's like orange or yellow, or... Is that a... Oh, it's a blaster blue sword. Oh, it's got serrated. For a second, I thought it was like pixelated. I was like, what is going on with this thing? I don't really understand. Okay, well, sell items. Fusion is ready. So, despite my reservations, it actually does look like defense is worth something. Okay, let's get a couple of these. I want to go beat up, I'm gonna go try and beat up Cell. You're done with finals, you got money to burn. Congrats on being done with finals, for any of you guys that are done with finals. Like, I know how stressful that all gets. Mostly. I guess I never really had to deal with it as much. Oh, God. Lord Prettyface Kulanagi. Yep, he spirit bombed me. He's got a stupid amount of HP. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to beat him for at least 1 or 2 time travels. Actually. But yeah, I guess, yeah, it's early May. This is about when I was usually on finals, now that I'm thinking about it. It's been a while. Let's see. So what do I do this time around? I'm going to get my attack speed up 10 points. Because 40% is solid. Crit chance isn't worth it, maybe. We'll see. And do we do HP? Let's do HP and attack this time around. Let's see, if I've done a chi run. I tried that. That was the first thing I did today. Increase Chiron's blade attack. Ooh, that's kind of neat. I mean, honestly, my general perception is to put most of it into just the passives, and I don't know. He does a ton of damage, so it might actually be more worth it than I thought. But yeah, I tried a chi run, maybe later. What about crit and crit pow? Crit scales really slowly compared to equipment, so I'm not really terribly interested. Let's see how far I can get while naked. Yeah, over here we're doing finals next week. Yeah, I guess as an art student, I got kind of lucky with finals, because I could pretty much just, well, it was all projects, it was never anything else. So I would just more or less be a slave to all of my, well, I was a slave to the art studio for about 2 weeks. And then I'd be done, because all my teachers would be like, well, we don't really have finals for you, so we'll just do final critique on the last week. And being a diligent student that I was, I'd pretty much just say like, I'm gonna get all of my stuff done beforehand. So I'd almost always like hit finals week and then just have nothing to do, which was really nice, because it more or less meant like we were on a quarter system, so we had fall quarter, winter quarter, and then spring quarter, and then summer quarter, obviously, if you stayed for that. So that means more or less anytime we go into break time, I would just immediately, yeah, just have like 2 weeks off. It was kind of great. I felt kind of like an asshole, because I could more or less just like kick back and do whatever the hell I want. Let's see. Let's give Chiron a stabby sword, so at least he can do something. That's not me putting on clothing. Best way for artists seems like just getting a solid art job during and not even having finals. Steadily improving on your own. Yeah, I mean, realistically, there are problems with getting an art job, specifically the job market. But for me, it was just so nice being able to, like, finally kick back and relax for about 2 weeks. Because I needed it. Because I would be in that studio getting about 3 hours of sleep a night some weeks, and that was... It was kind of miserable. It wasn't so bad, but it was just, like, it was not good for me. And so, post-graduation, I've been trying very hard to have a fairly good sleep schedule. I've been pretty good about that. Fusion is ready, we get more crystals, which isn't that great, but that's fine. Well, so far being nude is actually working out in my favor. So I'm just gonna nude this until I actually start dying, then we'll just slap on whatever equipment we can and keep going. But yeah, I would say, like, don't go to art school just so you don't have to go to finals. That's a stupid thing. If anybody ever does that, please do not blame me for your silly decisions. But I don't know. It was nice. It was also one of those where it's like, I don't like tests. I feel like they're always kind of skewed for somebody that isn't me. I'm not very good at, like, studying or information retention. Either I know the material or I don't, and stuff like cramming doesn't really work for me. It's better to just, like, actually pay attention and really know what I'm doing beforehand. And then after that, it's just purely up to, like, whatever my personal abilities are. And so I was never very good at, like, say, social studies tests. Like, here's your exam. It's 10 pages of multiple choice and or, like, short answer, like, explanations as to, like, you know, why did the Huns succeed at conquering, like, half the known world and blah, blah, blah. And, like, I was never very good at sitting down and explaining all that stuff. I could talk about it as long as it wasn't, like, I didn't also have to talk about, like, the Medici family in the same, like, same test. Because I could never do that. I'm focused on the one topic, and then everything else kind of starts zonking out. I apparently do not have enough chi. Okay. Well, it's time to slap on some equipment. We got farther than I expected, honestly. What am I missing? Necklace. Any of the rest of these? Not overwhelmingly. Let's see. But yeah, so I got kind of sick of doing tests like that. Hey, you really can actually buff his damage pretty considerably. Let's see. If I put 1 point into defense at this state, what does it do? It's only 3. Yeah. It'd almost be nicer if it scales based on your level. Like, if the formula for attack was, like, level times 51, or level plus X is equal to your attack bonus, so everything goes up slowly. But still, you know, chi regen yet. It was at 13. I think the main thing is just cost HG. I guess I can put 1 point into it. Okay, last battle. We should be able to just, like, wreck through. Yeah, we're good. Wow, that is some miserable chi regen. Well, later. Again, now it doesn't matter anymore. Now that I've actually put on proper equipment. Let's see. That's a better necklace. Most of the stuff, yeah, probably can go. I think let's fight that guy one more time as we go along. So one thing I can recommend after doing game art as your job for 8 to 9 years, start doing non-school assignment art as possible. And find off-time jobs as fast as possible while studying. Not having enough students think about that and relying on having a job after graduation. I, sort of, as a counterpoint, I actually was working full-time at a game design studio while going to art school, and it was severely bad for me. Like, I would definitely say, like, a decent chunk of my, like, senior year was me just miserably working both, like, midterms and, you know, extremely tight deadline projects. And it was like, I can't, that's not sustainable. But working on your own outside of school is absolutely a necessary thing. And it doesn't really matter what you're doing. Like, okay, that would be kind of hard with, like, business administration. Starting your own business on the side can be a little bit tough in college, and most of the time you're not even going to be, like, really focused on that sort of thing post-grad. But, like, I had a bunch of friends that were programmers and game designers and stuff, And admittedly, this isn't like ironclad, because I knew a number of people that I don't think made it anywhere. Like, I knew one guy that was always making his own games, and post-grad he just went into web design working for, like, his uncle. Which was dumb, because he was actually the most talented he was one of the most talented, like, indie developers I've ever seen. But then again, maybe that actually was a really smart thing, because maybe he is making his own games on the side. But I've never seen any of them show up in my inbox, so my assumption is, yeah, he stopped doing game development entirely. Or he's still just, like, working on small projects for himself, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not exactly the massive success that I think everybody I knew thought he was going to be. Let's see. But you always want to be working on something on the side, even if it doesn't see the light of day. Because one thing I saw with college especially is post-grad, almost everybody I knew in college forgot how to do work. You know, everybody was like, oh, finally, we're done. And then that was it. Oh, I should probably put some points into Life Force. Yeah, too many people just drink away their days in college. Oh, yeah. I was... So, I'll finish my previous thought first. So, I had a bunch of classmates that immediately post-grad, they're like, we're done, we're free, we can go home, we can do whatever we want. And then they went home and started, like, applying for jobs using their college portfolio. Let me tell you, as an artist or a game designer or anything like that, your college portfolio is very likely useless. It might look nice compared to, like, everybody else's on the wall on that, like, final week or whatever. That final review when everybody's, like, preening in front of whomever for, like, the final portfolio show. The problem is, like, most businesses that I've ever seen probably don't care about whatever you were working on. And I know to some degree that's actually a dig against myself. I know my portfolio post-grad was very... I had an amount of, like, concept arty looking things that actually weren't bad, but I also had a lot of just utter garbage that had nothing to do with what I actually wanted to do. But it was just in there because that was a piece that I did that I was relatively proud of, but it didn't, you know... It wasn't that considerable-ish. It's, it was kind of like I had a caricature project in there. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, it looks nice, but that has nothing to do with your job. Make the portfolio for the job you want, not just make a portfolio for the sake of portfolios and stuff. Yeah, students tend to overevaluate their skills 5 years later, and it's cringe. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, it kind of varies a little bit, but from everybody I've heard that actually gets in properly into, like, a game design studio, your skills skyrocket the moment you actually get to work at one of these places, because you're finally, you know, putting your skills to use as opposed to just making random shit for professors. I didn't really get there because I was just making shit for SpongeBob, and my design skills improved. Like, you can definitely tell from the stuff I made in college to my YouTube thumbnails, the quality has probably dipped a little bit in terms of execution, but I know what I'm doing more, so it's easier for me to just kind of get away with it. But, so, yeah, on the topic of, like, too many people drinking away their days in college, so, when I was a sophomore, the way my college was split up, you spent the first year working on foundations. Foundations was just like everybody, every single discipline was all kind of in the same boat, and everybody do the same thing. You had, like, your 3D design, your 2D design, your basic art history, and stuff like that. And more or less, like, didn't matter what you're in, fine art. You know, if you were in fine art, you'd be in the same classes as the industrial designers, fashion designers, everything. We were all in the same classes. Just because, like, kind of the basics for all art is similar. It's not the same. There's very, very different, you know, styles between 3D design and 2D design. But, like, knowing both helps a lot. And honestly, it just kind of broadens your horizon, because I knew a lot of people that went into college having no idea what they wanted to do. And it's like, I want to be an artist. Well, what kind of artist? I'm good at drawing. And then by the end of it, they were like 3D modeling like crazy and doing like these really cool sci-fi industrial sets. And I was like, that's not what you were originally doing. You were doing like animals and shit. But yeah, you have to do like sketching and all sorts of things. And it worked out actually rather well for a lot of people, but there were a lot of other people that like got kind of sick of it. Oh right, I forgot. Freaking fighting Cell. Let's just go on to the next planet, because this isn't working. Or, well, it isn't going to work. He's going to kick my ass. I'll put 1 point into that for the time being. Okay, so let's go over here. Broad strokes education. Way to realize the pun. It works. Ow, these ghosts hurt. Let's see. They don't hurt that much, actually. It was just that initial salvo. It was pretty punchy. And that one. Dang. Well, then again, these are... Well, some of these are better. Let's see. I don't know if I want to lose the defense, attack speed, and whatever on those swords. What's that? 10% attack speed? Better to have the 7,000 there. Okay. But so the moment we hit sophomore year, everybody finally was starting to go into their actual proper, like, focuses. So for me, I was going into illustration, and a lot of my classmates obviously were too. Interesting, my HP is scaling better than my attack at this point. I wonder what changes this time around. Maybe it's just gear RNG, probably. Let's see. Probably gonna keep pumping into higher power just for the free revive, because that's nice. Admittedly, it's a little RNG dependent, but it's still nice. Let's see. But so, the first couple, like, I'm gonna say the first 2 months of college, I would go over to some friends' apartments. I was still in the dorms, and I was on, like, a computer science frat, and it actually worked out generally well for me until they kicked me out. Because the leadership was, like, super elitist, and was like, you have to be a STEM person to be in here. And I'm like, okay. And so they more or less just, you had to do like a project every year, and I ran it by the guy. I'm like, I'm learning, I followed this tutorial, you know, is that okay? And the guy's like, yep, no problem, you know, you kind of have to do that when you're first starting out. And I was teaching myself how to do action scripts, and then like apparently in a closed doors meeting, he took my project to everybody else and was like, hey, by the way, this guy stole everything from, like, this tutorial and just, like, followed it to the T. And I'm like, I asked you beforehand. He's like, no excuses. And I'm like, I literally talked to... I don't know. I should have stood up for myself more. But at that point, I was just so sick of the, like, weird politics that I was like, okay, fine. I'm just going to live with Shell in her tiny little apartment. She was in a, like, a 4-person apartment. And... her roommates didn't even know I was living with her for the first, like, couple months until they were like, Wander, like, do you just live here? And I'm like, should really... well, I didn't deny it, because I was just like, yeah, they're gonna be fine with it. And Shell's like, no, they'll be mad. And it's like, but yeah, I was pretty much like ninja homeless, but I was never there anyway. I pretty much was in the art studio working from sun up to sundown. The only time I'd ever go back was for sleep time, and that was it. Let's see. That's better. But, so, to roll back the clock to when I was a sophomore, I had a bunch of classmates. I wonder if I could actually, like, go pure defense and just, like, Chiron stab everything to death. Oh, I want to try that. I feel like it would screw me over, but it would be really interesting to try. I don't know. Let's see. But so I go over to my friend's apartment, and we'd all do artwork together and like hang out and stuff. And it was charming, it was fun. Most of the time we were just like putzing around. Maybe listening to some music. I remember actually learning a fair bit about like different music styles. Let's see. Like, I think I got into... what was it? It was like... oh, the specific band is Magna Conta, which is like Gregorian chants, but like not just. I don't know how to describe it, but it was awesome. And like finding weird music like that was just really cool. But you know, I'd be there working on work, and everybody else would like kind of start working on their projects. Yeah, it looks like investing in defense might be a little bit of a necessity here. I wonder if I could invest in just pure defense and HP next time. I really wish if I could actually see a breakdown of how much of this is my leveling points. Okay, that's better. Let's see, do I grab anything else? Oh, I don't have Chosen One's Fury. We should grab that. Let's take off the armor. I think about it. We're just going to enhance that. 19 levels. Oof. I hit a bit of a wall. Bango, that should help. Okay, last battle. Yeah, they're not even so much as tickling me. Never mind, this is fine. Okay, they're tickling me a little bit. We should probably go do the arena too. Get the extra bits. They're hurting me. Only a little bit. There we go. But so yeah, I'd be working on projects and homework and whatnot. And everybody else would be kind of sitting around working for like, I think the first hour or two, and then everybody else would just kind of like lose interest and then just bum around. And then start making some phone calls. And so I'd still be working, and then suddenly people would start like just filtering into the apartment. And before I knew it, I was trying to do, you know, homework projects, whatever, in the middle of what was effectively a not a big like a kegger or anything like that, but there would be a fair amount of people standing around drinking alcohol that who knows where it came from. I mean, that's kind of how it works in college, but very quickly I learned, don't go over there anymore because I'm not going to get anything done. Which is a shame because it was actually really fun hanging out with them, but you know, very quickly it turned from like quiet, you know, relaxy work on homework time to it's time for a party, and it's like, okay, you know, I'll come over for Halloween, but that was the extent of it. And yeah, the next like couple of years of college, pretty much they just stopped doing work entirely. I'm not entirely sure how like some of these people ever graduated, but it was kind of dismal to watch because a lot of them were actually better than me. Like, I went into college with the only benefit I had was the fact that I'm good at digital stuff. Not like necessarily digital painting, but I could oh, those are outdated and bad. Then you know, I can like open up Photoshop and immediately figure out how to get it working. Not necessarily like how to make it work really well, but I can say learn the program in and out and more or less start working, and I don't have much of like a learning curve. It's just kind of an instantaneous like, oh, that's how it works. Okay, go from there. Oh, let's say I'd probably rather have the 10% attack speed. You could also go for the 10 chi. For the 10% crit. Because I do need to raise my chi a little bit. I can't actually use any of my moves. This is the ideal body. Oh, probably because I just went over 100,000 HP. Probably the case. College talk. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I probably should hold on to this kind of talk for September, just kind of as a... I know people are going to be going to college at some point in the next couple months. We might as well talk about, like, don't do this shit when you're at college, because you're going to waste your time. And seriously, like, a lot of people go to college and then just waste all their time.